In our human ways, in our human mind, state, body alone, we have this ability to look at two sides of everything. We see it as man and woman as being different. We see it as form and space as being different. We see it as birth and death as being different. Being different, you see. We arrived here, we're whatever we are, or we've always been here. And at some point we wanted to be different. So we created two sides through an encounter from our pure side, from our only one whole side, which is indifferent from anything. If you have this experience of encountering that whole pure consciousness, you'll begin to speak like some non-dual speaker. You'll begin to speak like some whole oneness, because you have experienced that what you arised from, indifference. Indifference means everything is the same. Everything in this place. We're not speaking about this body and this world and this earth and this universe. Everything is the same, because in this place there is no difference. So like God wanted to experience itself, you are reflecting that experience of God. You want, with no choice, if you believe in this God or not believe in this God, something appeared to take life. But life was always life. Even in its indifference, life was absolutely here. So even in your indifference right now, you're absolutely here. So to experience being different is just an experience. I want to be a man. I want to be a woman. I want to be born. I want to die. I want to have form. I want to be space. At night in deep sleep, you're not a form, you're space. You're spaced out. In wakefulness, you're form. In our identification of the body state, I have organs to say I'm a man, but I'm still life. The woman has organs to say she's a woman, but she's still life. Those that react against differences, like different colours of skin, different sexual preferences, different methods of religion, practices of spirituality, different cultures, different ways, is that what believes they are this difference. I am the difference. I don't want to be indifferent again. I don't want to be pure. I don't want to be impure. Because pure and impure in the indifference state is the same. If everything is the same, can it be pure without being impure? Can it be impure without being pure? The ones that speak about oneness are speaking from the point of indifference. And with the ability to move out and realize, yes, so many differences, so many different ways of seeing this life that has been invented and created by a mind of difference. You can call it difference, you can call it division, And a negative side, you say, well, the world is so divisive. It's horrible. And a positive side, you could say the world is so different. It's beautiful. So many different ways of seeing things. But difference and divisive are the same thing from the non-dual point of looking. One of the things you have to learn about being indifferent is that when you are present in a world of differences, you have to keep your indifference to yourself. So to say everything is the same is a very controversial and contradictory statement to that one that believes that they are different. I am different from a woman. I am different from space. So I thought, therefore, I live in the world of differences. And in this difference, I don't see everything as the same. I don't see everything as being okay. I see division when I have my negative mind on, because negativity exists as being different from positivity. When I see two races fighting with each other, I see difference. When I see the war over and them coming together and realizing it was all stupid and a mistake, I see these differences being resolved. And they become indifferent. The whole point is to realize your indifference. That everything is purely okay. And when you overcome this difference of death, you will return to that indifference. The only difference between a single person that sees themselves as indifferent, opposing the person that sees itself as different, is they have experienced a body of indifference. A body meaning I don't see any division between my soul, my form, my mind, my body, my man, my woman state. Do men not have feminine qualities? Do women not have masculine qualities? We just prefer to jump to either side of differences. One day I say I love the sun. I love the sun. It makes me feel so light and great. And the next day when the sun is burning my skin, I say I have to get out of this damn sun. It's killing me. Where is the consistency of these differences? It's the acceptance that difference is okay. It's the acceptance that indifference is okay. But it's the ego with the mind that is a problem that creates all this wars and destruction. When the ego cannot accept the indifferent one. What side are you taking? No, I don't see sides. You have to take a side. You have to go on the bad guy's side or this. I don't mind if you go on the bad guy's side. At least I know you're on a side. I'm not taking sides. It's like the pandemic. Wasn't it a wonderful? Not the virus itself, obviously, but the discussions and the communications. I believe 100% in the vaccine. I disbelieve 100% in the vaccine. And what about you? I don't see any difference. If it's there, it's there. If it's not there, it's not there. But I don't see it as being any different. Meaning, I don't understand what you're talking about. I don't understand differences. I don't understand this argumentative world. I don't understand what it is to take a side. Who do you think you are, Buddha? Well, if I say yes, then I'm taking a side. I'm taking the side of Buddha against the rest of this humanity, this human race, the spirits, the souls. I'm taking a side. You don't see yourself as anything, but you are here as everything. But everything is the same. It's a most uncomfortable feeling for the ego to say, what the hell? But of course there are differences, but these differences have been created of our human identity, not created by a God, not created by consciousness, not created by anything other than the human ability to create opposing states, opposing qualities, opposing values, negative and positive. I have an apple in one hand, and I have logic in the other hand. And you say, well, I can understand an apple being in that hand, but I can't understand logic being in a hand. What is logic? It's not a physical thing. It's not an actual form. It is an idea. And you say, yes, the apple is a useful, vital thing to keep my body living. And the understanding of that is logic. Do you need logic? Do you need to explain to yourself or to anyone that I need to eat this apple to keep my body living? No. You eat the apple. You don't need logic. Logic is a word. It's created. It is not real. It's an idea. It's a concept that it may exist. It's a useful tool to the mind. The apple is a useful tool to the body. The apple will serve a purpose. Logic will serve a purpose to the mind, but it may create destruction to many bodies. A poisonous apple may cause destruction to the body. Life of chance, life of taking the side of the apple or taking the side of the logic. So what? It matters not. If you have to take a side, take a side. If you see differences and you like differences, you'll be different. But you have to accept all differences. If you have overcome differences, overcome states, seen through I, seen through the values, the qualities, the divisive tactics, the judgmental values, the ways of identifying and creating words like racism and communism and sectarianism and all these isms and chaos and logic, all words, all energies, all just concepts, a concept. If I had to say one thing not to entice you or encourage you or motivate you, but say a fact. We have an idea that we have an apple and we can taste the apple, we can eat the apple. The apple may be good, the apple may be sour, it may be sweet, it may be poisonous. We have freedom. Freedom. Can we establish freedom? Can the body be free from concepts, from ideas, from logic, from chaos, from division, from differences, from illness, from depression, anxiety, from joy, from enlightenment? Can the body be free of all these fluctuating states of complete opposing values? Because enlightenment is a state and the body doesn't like it. It's the same as orgasm. The mind loves it. The mind loves the orgasm. The body is writhing in pain, but there's no consideration to the body. It's the same with enlightenment. The mind is so ecstatic. It's so lucid. It's so deep. It's so profound. It matters not if it's going outwards or inwards. The body is in the center of this stimulation. So enlightenment is the same as pain, because it's a pleasurable encounter. So what can be free of joy even? What can be free of enlightenment? What can be free of the need of trying to gain another or attain another quality? What can be free of needing to improve anything about your body or this world? What can be free from suffering and depression and anxiety, thoughts and ideas and concepts of antagonizing your body or your mind, whatever. Both are the same, you see. But we have invented a language to say mind and body are different, and mind and body have become different, and mind now supersedes bodies. I want to change the world, right? That's the mind. I'm not concerned about the bodies in the world. Some will have to die, some will have to live, some will have to get ill, but in the long run it's going to be better for me, because I'll feel good about myself, because I'll leave the world with a possibility of being free. Freedom is a concept. Drop the word freedom and you're free of the concept of wanting or needing to be free. The concept of every word that does not suggest an apple or a pear or a tangerine or a hammer or boundaries. It's the idea that these words supersede what you truly are, indifferent and free. To be different if the mind is invited in to make a selection or a choice. Sounds so simple to the one that's experienced it. The minute you say, I want to be free, means you're not free. The minute you say, I want freedom in the world, means there's no freedom in the world. The minute you say, all is free, is a concept also. Because freedom is not that what the mind thinks it is. It's the idea of being free of thoughts that freedom exists, that anything exists other than that consciousness that is taking place on its own, indifferently, creating different, what we call colours, shapes, weathers, breaths. All these, what we've given names to, is unfolding on its own. We give it meaning. We give it differences. We give it qualities. We give it measurements. And the body then experiences the mind's idea that these measurements can cause trouble, can create peace. So the body has to go with the mind. The body now feels that it has to find peace, find trouble. The body has to now go out and look for logic, because it's not in the hand. And most sensible human beings say, sod with the logic, I have a nice juicy apple. I'm taking a chance it may be poisonous. But it's there. It's physical. It's here. It's present. It's now. It exists. In the core of the apple is the core of me. And the core of me is in the core of the apple. And the core of the apple is the core of the universe. And the core of the universe is the core of me. Me being I. When the core of the apple is thrown away, the core of the universe is thrown away. And the core of I is thrown away. all are thrown away equally. Is there any difference in the throwing away? Everything becomes indifferent. Everything becomes one. Everything becomes the same. Birth and death concepts, true appearing to the body, or also true appearing to the mind. But that was never different, never experienced birth and death. And I don't know any human being that says, yeah, I remember my birth profoundly. Returns to the indifference that one is, that is here now. So there's no birth and death for the indifference. Differences are born and die. Change that is created by a mind that invents time as difference from no time dies. The state of Buddha is not a profoundly always the same state. Even Christ could not maintain his presence. But to taste presence, to taste Buddha, to taste Christ, to taste the Spirit, which is indifferent, is to taste your true self. And this true self was not born. Even God, in its oneness before it came two, was still one. You're just living this life as one whole spirit, indifferent, beautifully here, with no changes taking place, infinitely, boundless, but with a mind that can say, no, let's be indifferent, let's be different, let's be a human, let's be a man. And this is what's taking place. But if you discover that these differences have to exist from something, I know man, I know woman. Who is the I that knows of the opposing differences? Is this one different? The one that is not man nor woman, the one that is not soul nor form, the one that is not birth or death. Can you locate your true one? Not different from you, not different from God, not different from devil, beyond all differences. What knows the beyond all differences with a beautiful dream of being different? You enjoy the differences when you know what you truly are, because you know these differences will fade away into oblivion, and it's you that watches them fade away. Never fades away. Always here, always now.